Hi there, I'm Chris.
And I'm Malachi.
This is Candor's Collectibles. We're going to talk about Supersons. So Supersons was actually the very first omnibus I bought. I bought it from a guy in the Facebook group. I was originally collecting just the single issues, and all of a sudden I saw this one pop up. I saw some stuff on Jim Mint Collectibles. Saw it on his YouTube video. He's always talking about the omnibus. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I joined one of the Facebook groups. This one popped up for sale, and I was like, this would be a really good one for you and I to read together, right?
Yeah, because the entirety of you being Superman, me being Superboy, the way they would interact in the comics together.
Yeah, perfect.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and so so this is the front of the cover, the side, the back. Right. You want to show them?
Yep. So it starts off basically with Robin, Superboy, and the cover, you can see the middle. And when you open it up, it makes one whole picture there.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's Damian Wayne and Connor Kent, if you guys don't know.
Yeah, there's even like a little picture on the inside.
I thought that was a cool little addition to it. Yeah. Looks like it collects Super Sons number 1 through 16, Super Sons Annual number 1, Super Sons / Dynomutt number 1, Superman number 10 through 11, and 37 through 38, Teen Titans number 15, and a short story from DC Rebirth Holiday Special number 1. It's written by Peter J. Tomasi, and he's joined by superstar artist Jorge Jimenez, I think that's how you say that, I'm not sure, and co-writer artist Patrick Gleason. Normally I'm not super into this kind of artwork, right? Normally I like my stuff more 90s style, that's just the way I am. Jim Lee style, stuff like that. This guy, his artwork is amazing for this story.
Yeah. Especially for Robin, I like his look.
Yeah, me too. The expressions he can do, like for instance that Superman one right there, or Superboy. The expressions he does, great, right? He really gets it all across.
Like whenever he is frustrated, like just in like this, just in this one small panel, like right around here. You can just see like his frustration towards Batman, his father, and everything.
Yep.
It's just one of those I really appreciate, like even when it's in the small drawings. Usually sometimes one thing you'll notice is that they'll just do like such a simple expression on them. We'll just be like angry eye, but they actually do a good job with making it look like he's actually upset or just being the grumpy teenager or young teen he is.
Yep. So. And there's little things.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Like this, right? I mean, right there you can see the expression between Superman and Batman. Batman's kind of, like, you can't tell me kind of how to be a parent. And then those two down there. So I really like that. Okay. The story, one of the good things I like about this one is it collects how Damian Wayne and Connor Kent first got to know each other. They first met, which I thought was very exciting. And you also see how Batman and Superman in the beginning, they didn't totally agree, right? Batman kidnapped Connor Kent, essentially.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? And Superman comes barreling in. What have you done with my son? So I really like that a lot.
Yeah, and that was just like for a while in the beginning too of Batman not like trusting young Kent.
Yeah, it's great, and they didn't get along, right? Damian Wayne is a little smart butt all the time. He's a little smart ass. It's hilarious actually.
Yeah.
So he's a little smart ass, and Connor's a kid. What is he? Is he 10? He's 10 in this.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 10.
And he's a bit of like the goody two shoes type kid, which is where Robin kind of pushes him past that characteristic of him, and not in like a way where it's just a total character change, but in the point where it's like it's a kid getting angry, and it's a kid with superpowers. So
I mean, look at these two. These two are fighting like crazy.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So they're just fighting, and then what happens? the parents come in the room, right? And so you get the right? They know they're in trouble. They just know it. And so I love that. Just the whole writing by Tomasi in this in general was great. One of the things I like too is that all of a sudden they start going through their boot camp.
Oh
right?
yeah, that was a fun
If
part.
you notice right here, right there, they took away their capes.
Yeah.
Right? So
Took the capes, the zipper, the badge.
Yes. He's no longer Superboy. He's no longer Robin.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is that they're supposed to be working together now, right? Trying to teach them teamwork, trying to teach them how to how they can't just lean on themselves.
Yeah. And Robin, of course, being the way he is, was actually being more frustrating towards Superboy, and most of all, even actually trying to slow down Superboy. And then near the end, when Batman and Superman basically had to trick them into, well, not even fully tricked, but actually had to like put themselves in danger in a way. That was the only way for them to work together. And the way how they did was actually really cool. I like the way how they did it. But
Yep. One of the things I like Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent's relationship in this. They really do they seem like friends, right?
Yeah.
And they do stuff as friends, and you see the different personalities between them, and the different parenting types.
yeah, this one specific comic kind of shows a good amount of it, of what I love about the two.
Yeah.
The Christmas one.
Yeah. Because all of a sudden you think that they're getting along, and then they're fighting, right? And they're like, oh. Dang
It was honestly my favorite thing about it, because they were really going like, we have such good kids, basically, and all of a sudden just...
I'll have your miserable mutated head, alien.
Yeah.
Right? Come and get it, Twerpzilla. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then this Christmas one, the art's pretty good in it.
The art's
I like
pretty
it.
amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Like, the art's really good in this.
Yeah. But I kind of like, because this is kind of where things start changing a bit between Damian and Connor, with basically he's actually starting to have a bit of a change towards him, kind of seeing him a bit more as a friend when he buys him that gift that he knows he wanted.
Yeah, spoilers, by the way, in case you guys are curious. But
Yeah.
Superman, like in this one, this is one of the Christmas issues where Superman's trying to essentially try and find Connor this gift that he really wants, right? If you guys have read it, you'll realize he really wants this present. Well, he's busy saving the world, so he's constantly having to dart off from here, dart off to there, right, to go find the gift. And then Damian Wayne, he swoops in right as Superman's about to grab it, and
it makes you think
buys
that
it.
it makes you think that he's being selfish and he got it for himself, and then the twist comes in right here.
All of a sudden he gave it to him.
Yep.
Right, and he has his reasons. It wasn't just for friendship, but yeah.
Him giving the excuses to is what I like, because you need it for training. It'd be good for you.
Right.
Is my thing I kind of like.
Yeah. Then they kind of go into a part that I thought was. I really liked it in the beginning. So everyone knows who Amazo is, right? Where Amazo he was the robot that was created. And, he essentially any power that's used against him, he learns it, right?
Yeah.
So he gets it. So they have the Amazo virus that went around, and there ended up being this family that got it. That they all kept it, and one of them was much more sinister and vicious than the other ones.
I like the beginning of this story, though. At the beginning of it.
Which part was this?
This is the beginning of the Amazo one, where around when it first shows Connor going to school.
Yeah.
And then Damian's like following him around.
Yeah.
And even like he even drove the bus, which is what I found funny.
Yeah, it's really great. He's kind of keeping his eye on him and everything.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be in school himself, but he knows everything.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, literally, he knows everything. So
he's super smart.
Yeah.
Which is one of the conflicts within the comic, is the fact that Batman tries getting him to go to school, but he keeps on going like, I'm too smart for school. I don't need to go. And then to the point where it even makes other classmates turn on him because he's so smart, basically.
And Damian's getting him to sneak out, right? So he's the bad influence on Connor, because Connor would never do anything like that.
which then leads to them getting grounded, which is one of the running jokes in it, is like them getting grounded a good amount.
Yep.
Because it's like imagining
first
superheroes.
they sneak into Lex Luthor, right? This is during Rebirth, so so Lex Luthor has the Superman suit on, but they sneak in to do some stuff from Lex Luthor, essentially, and
yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because didn't they think that he was behind something? He was behind the.
Yeah, they thought he was behind some other stuff. But yeah, I thought it was really good. You know, there's an example of Damian Wayne at the bottom. He knows it. Like, I'm better than he is. Yeah. I'm faster. So, Mr. Cocky himself. And remember, Connor Kent doesn't have all his superpowers yet. He doesn't know how to control them. And so some of the stuff that they're kind of going through doing, I don't know. It's a super fun story. And then when they discover the Amazo virus, the Kid Amazo, right?
Yeah,
it's Kid Amazo. They have to work together again in order to do some stuff.
Yep.
Because one of them can multiply. The Super Duffies, that's who they're called.
Yeah.
The Super Duffies, right? So they have to work together in order to actually get this taken care of and all accomplished. And it ends up being where they almost die. And
because they even have to fight basically their own parents as the Amazo robots, basically.
Yeah, because, it's like right there. And then you'll see this girl here. She can control machines.
Yeah.
Right.
And as I was saying with them fighting their parents, it's kind of something that you would think of being a problematic thing for them due to the fact that, well, you're going at your own... I mean, for Damian, probably not because, he's Damian. But for Superboy, that's something that would be very troubling.
Right.
Like killing your own father in a way. So...
Yeah, so the Kid Amazo thing was really good. They end up stealing a suit from Lex Luthor, which kind of amplifies his powers a little bit. Okay. His Amazo armor, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. Sorry. So the one who was the super violent one, he could multiply. Yeah, yeah. He could just make a bunch of copies of himself. And then he got the Amazo armor from Lex Luthor, which has simply made it so he would start grabbing all these different powers.
Yeah.
So it made him super, super tough.
Yeah, and one of the things that kind of just reminds you that Superboy is still a kid is, I believe it was in this one, like the Amazo one, where he sees and also the first time he sees a dead body, I believe.
Oh yeah.
He was basically horrified, and he even he was crying too, which kind of makes you sit back and think a bit. It's like he may have superpowers, but he's still at the end of the day a child. He's not.
And he gets grounded like a child, like right here, right? He gets caught sneaking out, and Lois is super, super upset.
And the way how they ground them is also very funny. Like for Superboy, like right here, he's not allowed to use his powers.
Yep, he has to do his chores, but he's not allowed to use his powers. All right, so.
And then Damian can't go out with Batman at night.
Yep, so he's grounded from doing crime fighting.
Yep.
Okay.
In which then they meet up and cause more problems.
Yep, they're always going to be fighting with each other. Right, again, they can't get along.
And it even makes it, and even in this one, Alfred is pretty funny in it because of the fact that he's trying to make sure they get along, and in doing so, he's also being sarcastic and all that, and even telling them stories about how Superman and Batman didn't get along in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean because that's one of the things that they're talking about here is that Batman and Superman didn't get along all the time either, right? Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to tell them, it may seem that way now. You guys don't like each other, but
soon enough you'll become the greatest of allies and friends.
Right.
In which near the end they basically do, like it goes through that huge character arc is the thing I like about it the most. It's not like it was just a character arc in one of the comics. It was throughout all of them.
Yeah, but there's little things here and there. I mean, that's a great piece of art right there. And it kind of goes through where Damian thinks that he's training Superboy.
Oh yeah.
Right? So he's trying to teach him all kinds of stuff. And one of the things too is that the Teen Titans show up, right? Because Damian's the leader of the Teen Titans, and so the Teen Titans show up. And then part of the running joke that's going is that he's not allowed in the Teen Titans. Superboy's not. Why?
Yeah.
Because he's not a teenager, right? He's only 10.
Yeah.
And so...
Which is funny to me because it's like Robin is only 13 in this, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, I wouldn't even consider that a teenager.
Technically it is.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, yeah, and then he's old.
And he gets aged, right? So there's a villain, I can't remember what his name is, but he goes through and he ages him. So now he's an old man. Damian's old. And again, Superboy's trying to help him. And so he kind of pops in and out.
Yeah.
The other Teen Titans are trying to bring him to be a part of it, but Damian keeps voting him out.
Which is also one of those huge conflicts later on, is the fact that later on, Damian changes his mind, and then, but I can't remember why. Oh yeah, it's because Superboy became dangerous because he was captured, or I can't fully remember. It's been a bit, but because of that, they kind of noticed the threat within Superboy.
Yeah.
And this is around when Damian actually decides to vote him onto the team, and that's where the thing, like the table turns, and now it's Damian wants Superboy on the team, but the others don't.
Yep.
And it was just like one of those moments that was actually pretty sweet too.
Damian learns to fly, Connor learns to fly in this one.
Hey, he does teach Damian how to fly on the truck.
Yep. And look at Damian at the bottom. He's like, ooh, excellent, right? And he's got the fingers touching like that. He's got the super evil style because he's like, ooh, I can use that.
Yep.
Right.
He's like, the train's coming off well.
Yep. So.
But and just their two different personalities also collide and make it almost wholesome in a way.
They get a fortress of attitude. Okay, the Batman and Superman built them a future fortress of attitude.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yep.
But just since they're so different, it's almost wholesome whenever they start getting along. Because since Damian is almost like a grown-up in a way, he forgets that he's a child and he should be doing like, young like kid things. And then that's where Connor usually comes in, and kind of like that point where they were just on the truck. And he just had Damian lay down basically on the trunk on like the top of the truck, and then basically just sitting there in like the flying position that Superman does, which is the part that I love about it.
This guy, Savior, is in it later on. So he's a dude from the future when Connor and Damian are actually part of the Justice League now.
Yep.
And then this guy comes into play. You kind of learn who he is later on whenever you read through it.
Yeah.
And it's just cool because you're seeing Connor and them as adults, and it, I don't know, the artwork in it just made them look like Superman, but they don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you can still tell the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as I was saying, though, it just made it to where it was almost nice seeing Damian act like a kid instead of him being straight up serious, and that was kind of just one of those things that was very well thought out throughout the comic.
I agree. So what didn't you like about it?
I didn't like that one story involving the pets.
So that's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
There's what's it called? It's
I think it was the Super Pets.
Where'd it go? Dynamut. Superson / Dynamut #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. It's like
not at all.
Crypto goes out at night and then goes to Bat Dog, and they literally go out and rescue these animals. But the thing was, like, it would be a decent concept if Superboy and Robin were there, but instead it's like it's only the animals, and to the point where it's like there's like barely any dialogue, and the dialogue that is there will be like, I wouldn't say emojis, but like just little symbols of like, oh hey, like the dog and the cat had like this weird relationship. Which is the part that kind of got onto me the most. I'm like, I don't really care about this because it's their animals, and it's like, and it made me also forget the fact that there's so many pets throughout the Justice League, but it was kind of, and it just wasn't that entertaining of a story in general, because it's like it's hard to be entertained by animals that don't have anything to do with anything.
And it has some of the variant covers from the issues. So there's those two. My favorite one's in here too. There's those two there. Love this one here on the left. This one's pretty amazing. This one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that was really good.
My only problem with it
It's,
is
by,
that
it's
he
Frankie's
looks-
Comics exclusive variant cover by Francisco Mattina. Right, so there's all the variants in here. This is in the Omnibus, obviously. Whole bunch of them.
Yeah, and
Some of the making of. Right,
the
so just
concept art.
coming up with some of the concepts for 'em.
One of the jokes that I like most of all is the fact of how Superboy is taller than Robin.
Yep. Yeah, that's.
He's always reminding him of it. It's like, I'm better than you. Well, I'm taller, which is how the first fight with Batman and Superman being like, we got good kids, and then it's like that's where it was.
Yeah.
I'm taller than you, though.
I'm taller.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, and Damian's always trying to be in charge. He's always trying to be in charge.
And that's like
So-
Superboy's only way of
Yeah.
being.
Yeah. So.
Would you suggest this for most people?
I would. So if you like it's not a real serious read through. It's just fun, right? So don't take it too serious. It was a nice. I mean, I was laughing in it, right? So a lot of times I'm just sitting there reading it, and you just start cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
And so so it's a fun read. It's really good. It's being reprinted. I want to say it's like November. I couldn't find it. I tried to search online. I couldn't find it, but I do know it's being reprinted here shortly. You can usually pick them up pretty cheap, less than cover price still right now. So cover price is $75, right? So you can pick it up for quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, there's quite a few different places online you can pick it up. There's cheap graphic novels. There's in stock trades. There's a couple different places like that you can grab them.
Just
and
be
that's
careful.
usually 40 to 60% off. Yep. So next week's topic, what did we talk about? We're going to talk about
Uncanny X-Force.
Uncanny X-Force, right? So everybody loves this book, and so we're part of that majority there, and we're going to kind of go through and talk about it as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Also, I forgot to ask, what would you rate it out of 10?
I would do an 8 out of 10. It was
Same.
Yeah, it was a super fun read. It's one that you can pick this up without even knowing what else is going on.
Yeah.
Right, which I always found that really refreshing on some things. I don't need to know a lot of backstory and all this other stuff to read it. So.
Yeah, and it's just like that wholesome, fun to read, like to the point where when I was almost done with it, like it wasn't like, oh sweet, I'm almost done. That means I can move on to the next. This was like the oh man, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
So I was
it
almost disappointed that I was almost done. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Like I said, except for the Super Pets part, everything else I totally enjoyed on this one. So the binding's really nice on it. You don't have to worry about anything as far as
Especially with the cover. Now it's black and white.
So it's not going to tear apart on you like some of the DC ones. As you can see behind me, I've got some of the really big ones, and some of them, I guess, have some notorious binding issues. So we'll go through and read those as we do. So okay. So if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe to us, please, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the book. Like I said, I really suggest it if you have kids that you're trying to get into some comics. Really, go for it. So.
Yeah. It's good for all ages, and it's good for family especially. Like how I said with me and you with our relationship. So,
So,
yeah.
all right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.